and welcome back to Monica's Place. My name is Monica and this is my scrapbook room. On this episode, I'm going to show you how to create this funky little square card. I'm going to show you some techniques where you can alter the rubber stamps you already have so you can get more versatility out of them. I'm also going to show you simple little techniques that you may need when you need to make multiples of a particular card design. My very dear friend and talented designer and co-owner of Artemis has created these one-of-a-kind, beautifully hand-painted wine glasses. She asked me to see if I could come up with a simple little card that could go along with these wine glasses that she and her daughter are selling at the upcoming farmers market in St. Albert. Here's a close-up view. So let's not waste any time. Let's get started. For this project, you're going to need a piece of cardstock measuring 8.5 by 4 1/4, scored and folded in half to create our 4 1/4 inch square greeting card. Some liquid white glue, some acrylic craft paint, and for this project, we're using a metallic bronze. Some inks. I've got a coordinating metallic bronze to go with our paint. And just a nice chalk ink, and for this one I'm just using a nice chocolate brown. A glue stick. Some Scotch tape. Some nice sharp little scissors. A paintbrush for our paint. Some tweezers to pick up our little rhinestones, and I'm not sure if you can see them, but maybe I'll try and pick one up with the tweezer and show it to you close up. Our little rhinestones for embellishments. 2 rubber stamps. And last but not least, more scrap pieces of paper from your scrap box. Now let's get started. We're going to start by applying a little bit of an acrylic paint swatch to the top of our card. So what you're simply going to do is at the top here, take your brush and just kind of do a free-form painting. You cannot make a mistake. Just so it kind of gives you a swatch at the top. That should be perfect. Here is our paint swatch all ready and dry. Now what we're going to do is stamp the words clink at the top of our page. One of the stamps we're using today is from a stamp set by Stamping Up. It's got 2 long glasses with the word clink at the top and some little dots simulating champagne bubbles. For this particular card, we only want to use the word clink. So I'm going to show you how you can mask out the rest of this stamp and just use the word clink. Before we continue, one item that we definitely need is a black ink pad. So we're going to take some Scotch tape and just lie it along the part of the stamp that we don't want to use. So you can see I've done that. I'm going to go ahead and dab it in some ink here. Make sure we get that word clink inked up. Take away this piece of messy tape. We just have the word clink inked. Take it and go ahead and stamp it on my card. You can put it anywhere at the top. This card is very free form and random. And it's going to look something like this. Okay, I've gone ahead and added the tape for the last time. Your card should look something like this. And again, it doesn't matter where you stamp the word clink, as long as it's stamped on the paint swatch. Now we're going to go ahead and use our other stamp that has the martini glass. For this particular project, I was looking for a stamp with a wine glass and I couldn't find one suitable. I have so many stamps in my stash. So I thought I'm just going to take this one and alter it to suit me. So I took a good sharp X-Acto blade and I simply carved away the olive and the stem. So now we're going to go ahead and stamp that on some of our printed paper. Okay, you can see how that turned out good. I try to use my scraps right to the maximum, so I turned my stamp upside down so I could get another one out of there. So for this card you need 2 different pattern papers. I've gone ahead and cut out the wine glasses. So now I'll just add a little bit of glue to the back of these glasses and adhere them to the front of the card. Okay, I've got one glued down, and if you notice on this particular card, there's a little green dot on the printed paper. I didn't want to bring green into this card, so I'm going to take my second glass and glue it so it kind of hides a little bit of that green. So just go ahead and press that down like that. So we've got our 2 wine glasses glued to the front of the card. For the next step, we're going to ink all the way around the outside edges of this card. This card is very minimalistic and quite simple, so the inked edge really makes it pop. So first you take the chocolate brown chalk ink, and we will start with that one and start inking it across the card. I found that the chocolate brown by itself just wasn't enough. I'm trying to keep this card looking a little bit more in the elegant tone of Laura's beautiful glasses. So that's why after we use the chocolate brown, we'll go ahead and take this metallic bronze ink. And you can bring it right into the corners a bit so you can get a little bit of that bronzy color. This is such a simple card, and sometimes less is more, and that's all you need. So there we've got our outer edges inked. And the last step is to add our rhinestones for our embellishments. For the rhinestone embellishment, I simply placed just a little bit of white glue on my scrap piece of paper. I'm going to go ahead and just take a little applicator. I'm using a paper piercer here just because it's got a sharp little point. And I'm just going to pick up a little bit of glue and kind of put 3 random spots on here to simulate my bubble. So I'll put 1 there, maybe 1 here, maybe to cover up that little flaw in the card, and maybe another one over here. I always like to work in 3s. I just think it just looks better on the card. So I'm using these tweezers to pick up the rhinestone. The tweezers in the paper piercer come in a Making Memories toolbox, and I find these little tools very handy for working with small things. And there is our completed card. Very simple, very easy to do. So I better get busy. I've got a whole lot to finish before I take them over to my friend Laura's to see if she likes them. I hope you found these tips useful and you'll try altering the rubber stamps you already have. You'll be amazed how you can double your value with your products. Thanks for dropping by my scrap room.